We are live. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Then and Now Media Empire. Okay. Broadcasting on our Facebook Live page. And today is Saturday the 4th of July, 2020. I'm your host and presenter, Mohamed Kamara, commonly known as Supermed. And today we've got a special guest all the way from the homeland. I mean, to be precise, Uganda, East Africa. And we're going to be discussing a very, very important topic that covers the whole continent of Africa. This brother is a graduate of Matters University with a BA honors in information technology and also a master's in international relations. But more important of all, is a mental health advocate. So the topic today is going to be about mental illness in Africa in general. And this brother is no other than Mr. Jimmy Odoki Acellam, all the way from Kampala, Uganda, East Africa. Welcome, brother Jimmy Odoki Acellam, to the Then and Now Media Empire.
Thanks, my brother Kamara. Thanks, my brother Kamara, for having me on your show. I am privileged and honored to be on your show to discuss this very important topic on mental health and mental illness that many people have no idea what it is. So I am very grateful that you took time to have this topic discussed here. Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jimmy. And I'm really happy to have you here because it's a very, very important topic. Looking at the wider African perspective at this mental illness, the taboo around this, the stereotyping and everything. So we're very, very pleased to have you here. To start with, ladies and gentlemen, please, your comments are all welcome on our Facebook page. And today, like I said, we are covering a very, very important topic about the homeland. We've got a very, very important guest here all the way from Kampala in Uganda. And hopefully in the next 30 minutes, he's gonna educate us more about mental illness in an African perspective. So Mr. Jimmy, let's start. You know, many people will want to know what is mental illness and how does this affect people? Can you just please elaborate a little bit on what is mental illness and how does this afflict people?
My brother Kamara, there is mental illness, but there's also mental health. We all have, everyone has mental health. The illness, however, comes as a result of diagnosis by a specialist, either a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Usually when you have a mental illness, it means that you are not able to do things that you do normally. You know, it affects you that your everyday, you know, when you're used to doing your work, you know, waking up early in the morning, getting your tasks accomplished, you know, going with everyday life normally. But all of a sudden, if things change and you can't wake up early in the morning, you know, you feel you've lost hope, you know, that can be, you know, can be referred to as maybe a mood disorder, which would either be depression. But there are many forms of mental illnesses, and it's only a specialist that can make a diagnosis. Other people can, you know, make references that we think he is depressed. But you need to get a diagnosis from a specialist, not to rely on what people say. But your friends, your relatives can notice a change in your behavior, in what you're doing, and then they get concerned that, you know, your life has changed all of a sudden. That could mean you have a mental illness. If you're not able to, you know, for example, the whole day you're sleeping, you can't go to work. You know, you're not interested in the things you used to do, like meeting your friends, you know, activities that were of interest. That would be signs of depression. But there are many other, other forms of illness. Can be severe depression. There can be, bipolar has two forms. It's a mood disorder, either a manic episode or a depressive episode. But there are many types of mental illnesses. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Someone cannot pay attention, gets distracted easily. So usually you have a chat with a psychiatrist, with your relatives, some trusted people who have been observing you. It's also a very, it requires a lot of skill to make a diagnosis, because you could easily say it is this one mental illness when it's in fact the other one. So it requires a lot of specialist attention. So I can say that in general, for example, in Uganda, they say that 1 in 4, you count 4 people, at least 1 may have a mental illness. But the statistics are not very definite, because we have problems here in getting data and all that. So, but it's a very big problem, and yeah, that's all I can say for the mental health. We all have to take care of our mental health. There's physical health and then the mental health. The mental health is sort of ignored by most people. They don't pay much attention to the mental health. They think of the physical health, the malaria, the diabetes, hypertension. But when people have other forms of mental illnesses, not much attention is given, and there are very few specialists. Like the psychiatrists in Uganda, we have less than 40 for a population of 41 million. So you can imagine, not many are able to access. Very few are privileged to see a real psychiatrist. There are some psychiatric clinical officers or psychiatric nurses, but the real specialists, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, there are so few, because the field is also stigmatized. Doctors who do psychiatry are stigmatized by both their students and their fellow doctors. They think when you keep treating people who have mental illness, eventually you also, you get that. But it's just, I don't think it's true, because I've seen psychiatrists who do their work normally and they have no problem.
Okay, thank you very much for that brilliant introduction to the topic. Ladies and gentlemen, on our viewers on Facebook, please share this video, because it's very important for all of us in Africa to know about mental health, to know about mental illness. And we've got the opportunity today here. We've got a mental health advocate and the brother, Mr. Jimmy, all the way from Kampala in Uganda, who's discussing very important issues that we need to share. Please, let's share them. And also, today's program, we've got 2 segments. The first segment, which is the one we're doing now, talking about mental health. The next segment will be the treason trial that never was. This is about the Palo Conteh treason trial in Sierra Leone. That will kick off from 8 p.m. So we've got the brother now, we're talking about mental health. Thank you very much, Brother Jimmy. Why do you think it is very important for people like you to bring about awareness about in relation to mental health, widespread in Africa, to, like you said, mental health and mental illness, to explain to people the differences? Why do you think this is very important?
My brother Kamara, I think it's very important because, one, mental health and mental illnesses are misunderstood in Africa. They think, someone who has a mental illness has been cursed from generation to generation. They think it's a result of witchcraft. They think it's just bad luck. And 2, to pastors and priests for prayer, specialists to get good treatment. There's a lot of stigma around mental illness and mental health in Africa generally. So most people end up, they are so scared of going, to be seen, to be going to see a psychiatrist or to seeking help from a specialist in mental, who treats people who have mental health issues, mental health challenges. So we need to have this conversation so that people can be free to seek treatment, not to be scared, because here I have friends who have intentions of running in politics. They think if they're seen to be getting treatment, they'll say, no, you're not, since you have a mental health challenge, you now can't participate in politics. So there's that kind of treatment makes people scared. Even there are people, professionals who go to see, but they don't want to openly talk about it because they know the repercussions of being stigmatized. Other places at work, they can say, no, we cannot employ you anymore. So people we have to do this awareness so that employers can understand what they can do with people at work who have mental health issues. Currently with the coronavirus pandemic, many people are affected. Students who can no longer go to school, they are staying home for much longer than expected. They are all affected in different ways. Parents who cannot be able to provide for their family, that has an impact on them. So people have to be educated that these things are normal. If you don't feel well, please go see a psychiatrist, go see a doctor, go see a psychologist, seek help, talk to people. And people who have mental illnesses should be seen as normal people. People should not avoid them and keep them away. They should be talked to. It's talk therapy is very helpful. If you keep them alone, it worsens the situation. So in addition to getting that treatment, families should not separate them and put them that, that one is of no value. It's terrible because it makes the whole situation worse. And so we should be able to talk freely. We should have more discussion on Facebook, radio and television, so that we have more awareness. Because in Africa, radio is the most used medium to disseminate information. We have people writing in the newspapers, but very few people read. So we should have more mass media, education on mental health awareness. I think government should take it as something very serious.
Exactly. So that's the next topic I want to go into, because like what you're doing here, you're doing a great job bringing awareness about mental health and mental illness to all of us from an African perspective, because we know the stigmatization of mental health is widespread in Africa. Nearly all the four corners of Africa, we see this. And it is about time people like you stand up to say, no, this is not correct, this is not right. This is an illness that can be treated. And again, what are the sort of supports you get in Uganda in relation to the government to help create this awareness, to help encourage people to bring their relatives to be diagnosed properly if they have mental illness, so that they could be treated? And what about the treatment as well in Uganda? Is it readily available? All of these issues, because this is like a combination of issues to tackle this particular problem. So are they all available, or what sort of help people in Uganda are getting in relation to treatment, in relation to supporting the awareness campaign that you're doing now from the perspective of the government?
To begin with, the government, under the Abuja Declaration, they're supposed to give 15% to the health budget, 15% of the health budget of the budget towards health, but they don't do that. I mean, the percentage that is given to mental health from the Ministry of Health is less than 1%. And that is supposed to be spread across the country. So you can imagine, the budget for mental health is so tiny, so small, that doesn't offer much help. So what we've been doing is we've been getting a lot of support from our partners in the UK, especially in Sheffield. It's mainly NGOs that are taking over to help people more than the government does. The government has facilities in different regions of the country, but it barely serves the entire. It's people who are closer to town, people who are far away in the villages don't get the kind of services they're supposed to get. The support from government is so minimal. I think government, the good thing is in 2018, they came out with a Mental Health Act. That was a revision of the colonial one where, had all these negative things, that people with mental illness are idiots, they're imbeciles. So there was a correction of that. That is a credit to government that they took on the Mental Health Act as something serious. Many people were called to give views during when the bill was being debated in Parliament. NGOs, mental health advocates, we were called to Parliament to give our views, and it came out. But we are not seeing the implementation. It's just on paper. So government should. We haven't had someone to spearhead, and what happens in the Western world is that celebrities like Lady Gaga in the US, popular figures, begin talking about mental health, and then it gets the kind of attention it deserves. In Uganda, we haven't had a popular person like someone who has a strong, big following. We are trying to, recently I talked to an Anglican bishop, and he was very, very, very welcoming to the idea, and he has accepted. It's called Bishop Zach Niringie. He's now retired, but he's involved in activism and everything. So he was very understanding and very impressed, and told me, it was so personal to him because he had also, friends and who had similar. So he has agreed. So we are looking forward to getting him on board. But I think the government should treat it as an important thing. Otherwise, government, their focus is usually very different in the military, other bigger things for regime longevity and survival. I mean, mental illness, mental health, they think is not a threat to the government. So it's a by the way. So I think some influential person has to reach out to the president, or to the ministries and say, this is an important thing. You should, during this lockdown, during this coronavirus pandemic, they've had a televised talk on mental health involving people from the Ministry of Health, but that was a one-off because they heard that many people were getting problems. So, I mean, also not many people watch television in the country, not many. It's something of an elitist, people who are privileged, who have access to TV, but how about people in the villages? We shouldn't be thinking about only ourselves who can read, who are in town, but we should think of the entire, the population, the person in the village, the average person. What can we do for them? So we are thinking of strategies of how to engage government and have a more a serious approach to mental health issues.
Okay, thank you very much again for another excellent answer, Mr. Jimmy. And it looks like the government has a lot to do in that regard. But again, I want to say to all our viewers on Facebook Live to please share this video. This is a very, very important topic. We're talking about mental health and mental illness in an African perspective. So it is very good because most of the experience the brother is exchanging with us here, we see them in most of our countries in Africa. It's very, very important. And I also want to remind you that the program today is divided into two segments. This is the first segment. We're talking about with this mental health issue till 8 o'clock. From 8 o'clock, we're going to look at the treason trial that never was. The Palo Conteh treason trial that just concluded. We're going to look into that as well. And that is a phone-in program. So your views and comments are all welcome. But please feel free to share your views and comments as well on this program. And again, Brother Jimmy, I mean, you've taught a lot already as we went along nicely with this particular program. And we knew now the governments need to do a lot. I mean, according to the Abuja declaration, like you said, the budgets, the health budgets, it has to be 10%, but they're only spending 1%, which is way, way down to what is needed in that particular regard. But again, you're trying to bring awareness to all of us, to people. How are you going to do this to people in the villages? Because you mentioned the people in the villages who believe when people are afflicted with mental illness, they take them to witch doctors, to herbalists, to be cast away with demons and all sorts of things. How can you convince those people that this is a proper illness? They need to take these people to be diagnosed properly and that there's proper treatment to be given to these people.
The approach for villages is going deep in the community, not just stopping in town. NGOs have a way of approaching it, whereby they go, communities form groups, and then they have discussions, they have skits, role plays, making it easily understood to them. Sometimes when you just tell them, it doesn't make sense. But if you perform, do a play, perform a skit, and give them some sort of incentives, like if you think someone is not doing well, we can have a support in this way. We can give some money for treatment. We can, because the villages have health centers are smaller than hospitals. So the approach starts from the health centers, and then they can be referred to, like a referral can be made to the regional referral hospital, the mental health unit in the regional referral hospital. And if it's beyond the regional referral hospital, then it's sent to the national referral hospital. So we have to go deep in the community. The NGOs have got a good approach. I think government can, they can still partner with NGOs, or the NGOs or the government can then see ways of supporting the NGOs, because government doesn't have the kind of staff that can really go down to the grassroots. Usually NGOs, community-based organizations, NGOs, even churches, sometimes they're more deeply rooted in the community. And then the churches have to be educated, that the leaders of churches, that, when people have mental illnesses, it's not just about praying for them. Just recently, when I was sharing on my Facebook on a matter of mental health illness, a friend of mine sent me a message in my inbox that, no, I don't think this is a medical, this is a spiritual thing. They need to be prayed for. You can't. Then I have a friend who's a pastor, told me of 2 of his employees who had mental illness, sent them to receive treatment. One lived in denial, refused, and then died by suicide. The other kept taking his medicine and said, oh, you're a good pastor. Most pastors wouldn't take their employees. They'll just say, we'll pray about it. So pastors and church leaders have to be told that, mental illness, praying for is not a bad thing, but you have to also have the medical model where people go see doctors and get medicine and put on medication. Some people, when they get better, then they say, because some of the medicines have side effects, some people don't like to take it for long, and then they decide to stop taking the medicine, which is a bad thing. You have to keep, listening, taking instructions from the doctor. So people have to be told more to, go. Church leaders have to be educated. Even herbalists, witch doctors, they should be talked to. They can have a change in their attitudes. They can then say, please, you go and see the doctor. But if you ignore the herbalists, the witch doctors, church leaders, pastors, then it will make the work difficult. So it is more of a community approach, and all forms of structures. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much again, Brother Jimmy. I mean, like, what's a tragic story? Two fellow, the other one went for treatment, the other one did not go for treatment, and they ended up committing suicide. These are typical example of what happened African, the continent-wide, basically. And like you said, the churches, the mosques, this religious organization should be playing a key role. I mean, I think you should be partnering them with NGOs for them to be educated as well. Like you said, prayers is good, but also the proper diagnosis needed to happen and proper treatment given, because this is a medical condition. It could be treated, and it should be diagnosed properly and treated. Like, again, what we experiencing here in the United Kingdom, where I am, during this lockdown, this COVID-19, you've already mentioned it, there's a spike in mental illness. Many people are complaining of mental illness, have been diagnosed of mental illness. And I can see those lockdown seems to be worldwide as well. In Africa, there are lots of lockdown, and in the sides of Africa and East Africa. What is the government doing to tackle mental health illness in regard to the COVID-19 coronavirus lockdown? Because this is an emergency and global pandemic. What are they doing? Are they taking extra measures, or are they partnering with NGOs or the local community-based organization to do something to improve people's health?
Oh, so my brother, this is a very interesting question. You know, as a pandemic, even in Uganda here, it is said that the number, there's been an increase in the rate, in the number of people who have mental illnesses. The director of the National Mental Referral Hospital in Butabika, she's called Dr. Naku, was on NTV saying that the number of admissions at the hospital has doubled. And so the saddest thing is that mental health units in the different regions have been converted into isolation wards for people who are suspected to have coronavirus. So there's been an outcry that if the number of people with mental illnesses are increasing, why should the mental health units be closed and change into isolation units? It doesn't make sense at all. So people who have mental illnesses have, in different parts, they cannot access their monthly medicines refill because the mental health units are closed. There's been an outcry. It's been in the newspapers. One of the most senior professors in psychiatry raised it in a meeting and said, they should have set tents outside the hospitals, because even the mental health units are too small to accommodate numbers of people with coronavirus who are thought to be infected with coronavirus. So the government, the approach has been terrible, in spite of the high numbers that are getting mental illnesses, or even the people who originally already had a diagnosis of mental illness, but others, because of the lockdown, because of the situations, then many new cases are developing, but they can't access the kind of treatment that is necessary. So I think government has to be told in a certain way. They have to be informed that this is a different situation. The people, the frontline workers, the medical staff, they are affected. The journalists who are reporting about the coronavirus, when they travel, just I think 2 days ago, someone burnt himself in a hospital because he was protesting that his means of income, the motorcycle, was taken. So he doused himself and died. So when people watch such things, it affects them. People who are reporting about such news, it affects them. Even the military, the people who are patrolling the streets to see that because there's curfew, you can't go out after 7 p.m. From 7 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. you have to be in your house. So the soldiers, they're working very hard conditions. So it affects them in many ways. So I don't know why they haven't taken a serious approach to this, because it's a very big problem. Even our partners, the NGOs, people who used to come from the UK and other countries, there are no flights allowed in, so they can't come. So our projects are on hold. We can't do what we used to do to support the community, So the onus now is on government to do much more. But it seems, I don't know. This is especially in Uganda, they've got their priorities twisted. I think, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Jimmy. I mean, this is a remarkable example you're giving us, and an experience as well, what you've seen, what is happening in the ground at the moment in Africa. And you're in Kampala, Uganda, East Africa, and the sub-region. And I think Africa-wide, really, West, East, North, South, there's lots of problem about mental health and mental health illness. And it's unfortunate that today we have a very short time for this program. I think we need to bring you again for a longer time so that we discuss this more over in detail. And I'm gonna urge our viewers on Facebook to please share this video for people to listen to what the brothers had to say. He says something very, very important here, that it should keep all on our toes. And our governments and our different communities, NGOs, partners, and everybody should come together and tackle mental health and mental illness in Africa, because this is like a time bomb and it could explode. And it will have serious ramifications for societies countrywide. And again, Brother Jimmy, we want to thank you very much. Now, I want you to round up as our time is rolling out very close. I think we've got a minute or two. We want you to round up, like I said, where the time today is not enough, but we will probably bring you again another time that we'll have to discuss this in detail. So we want you to round up. What is the message today? Basically to all Africans, because this is a common continent-wide problem in terms of mental health and mental illness.
My message to all my African brothers and sisters is that mental illness can be treated. Please, when you see a relative, a friend, ensure that they're taken to see a doctor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, so that they get a proper diagnosis and get the right medication. And please, do not stigmatize. Do not think mental illness, people with mental illness can't do anything that any other person can do, because usually it's just an episode. And when the episode is treated, they get back to normal. So they shouldn't be, ruled out that they can't do anything. They can do a lot, much better. I've seen many friends who have been on treatment, they have studied, they're teaching in universities, they are holding very powerful positions. They work normally, only that they don't like to come out to speak about it because of the stigma. So when we stop the stigma, people will, freely go and get treatment, and life will be good. So please, yeah, there's hope. Don't lose hope. When someone has a mental illness, they can get better, they can be treated, and they get back to normal. So please, help them.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Jimmy Odoki Acellam from Kampala, Uganda. And we will treasure this debate today, and I think we'll share it on all our platforms on YouTube, and we'll urge people to watch it and gain the knowledge that you've passed on to us today in relation to mental health and mental illness. Thank you again once more. Thank you very much. And we'll definitely have you on this platform some other time. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother, Mr. Kamara. Thank you.
Okay, Fambulem. Mr. Jimmy, you can now log off if yes.
Yes. Okay, all right, okay.
Fambulem, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever on a day. And welcome to the Then and Now Media Empire. And welcome to the program Inside Salon today. Me now, our host and presenter, Mohamed Kamara, commonly known as Supermed. And today is Saturday, the 4th of July, 2020. Fambudo, don't call the next segment now. This now we own local lingua, when the Creole they use for talk by these segments, so that we'll reach many people as possible. Today, like a free phone-in program. The program today titled The Treason Case That Never Was. The just concluded treason case of Major Retired Palo Conteh. And then at the topic for talk about, una views them, una comments them, una opinion, they're all welcome. So please una feel free for call the line at +44 79 513 77 568. The line again na +44 79 513 77 568. And una welcome to Inside Salon today. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I know say we all don't talk about this na social media in the past few days. We don't see the treason trial. We don't see I begin, I don't end. And the jurors them don't find the lead accused when I retired Major Palo Conteh not guilty on all the treason charges them. But 2 charges them, the illegal possession of firearms and also possession of firearms in public place. And the other co-accuse them they don't accuse them for all the other charges them, which also plenty people say, but it's not contradiction. Because the other co-accuse them, then they're in relation to the illegal possession of firearms, because they give the license to retired Major Palo Conteh. They got acquitted, then Palo Conteh get found guilty. So now other anomaly. But the question here today, what we get, because many people talk about this topic here on social media. Some people they talk say, well, this don't vindicate, say, this particular government, the SLPP government, now government will believe in the independence of the judiciary. Some people they talk say this particular case is so overwhelming. There was no way where the judiciary go able to interfere. So the credit should go to the jurors then. When they say listen to all the evidences presented to them, and then stand up and say, no, this is not a big issue. We're not going to just convict somebody flippantly. So we get the evidence, we therefore look into the evidence thoroughly and convict and pass the right verdict. So we don't get plenty take on this particular topic. Now, I make us say, today on now open phone-in program, and I give a little bit background to the case, and we're not go call in for us to share our own comments and opinions. They're all welcome now. Do allow be respectful to one another. And please, allow share. So that plenty of we go join the program and go get we own say for this program here. So. And again, like I say, me now host and presenter, Mohamed Kamara, commonly known as Supermed. And this program, na Inside Salon today, na the Then and Now Media platform. Thank you very much for sharing the program. Again, I begin like giving a background. So most of who know about, say, this man, Palo Conteh, don't be na the previous administration, and don't be Internal Affairs Minister. It also don't be Minister of Defense. And this man also don't do that the military na Salonde, where he rise to the rank of major. So during the past administration, a very prominent minister, a very prominent figure where people they know about, because he hold very important ministries in the country. So since this administration now gets a new government, national don't kind of governance since 2018, we know what happened already. This where this Corona COVID-19 begin ravage the world. We say we country we don't take and say well all the country we neighbor we this we. So the government in wisdom be decide for talk so okay, set plan. Lord put mechanism in place where we able to protect ourselves, we able to prevent ourselves when the sick come. We were able to handle them, not going to become widespread. We were able to control them and make sure say we eradicate in our country. What most of you will be the call for and we welcome them. We see where the country close the borders then, ban no incoming flights or outgoing flights, and introduce the inter-district lockdown and so many other things then. So we all welcome that and we're glad for that. So in this process, now the government be say, well, this man, the last time that government be there, we don't get another big health crisis. When at the Ebola crisis, where plenty people in our country, the people who will be leading this fight, when I be champion, will get plenty experience, now Palo Conteh and other people. So now we call them and they can join we, so that we go draw strategy. If this COVID-19 coronavirus can our country, we will know how to fight them and eradicate and pull and come on our country. So most of we welcome that idea. They will be glad. We take and say, well, the government don't see us this, not to one person, one political party, but this sickness, if you get for affect, now all man get for affect now the country. So now good thing for let all man come together for fight the sick. So people them appreciate and greatly. Although some of the supporters then now from the party where Palo Conteh come out, when at the APC party, begets them their own fear because they try for point say, "Bo, Palo Conteh, them people there they don't like you because we don't come." We don't see, they don't arrest you, go lock in a CID. For nothing, tell you go poet and call them, pull you all in, and why you go and go work with them. If you go work with them, they know people know for trust them. Maybe they know what treat you fair or treat you well. But Palo Conteh, I think, say the man a patriot in a possible like in country. I think he tell many people and say, no, this thing, now for one of the people, now for me country, now for all man. If I get me experience, me expertise, for can help government, for not able to fight this sick in our country, a good thing. Make I go join government for help for fight this sick here. So which is that, and we'll see what happen again during the first meeting, second meeting, what we are in now. Say Palo Conteh go and take peace to go na State House, and let's say go for we want to go assassinate the president. So most of you were baffled. We say, but wait, so how this man? When an eligible man now, we get plenty experience. Go and go take a pistol for go assassinate president in a State House, where the president get plenty bodyguard in day. Where it look like say to many people in AI, it go be like a suicide mission. And how it go benefit this man? So many people will be worried and troubled by this allegation here. So. And people may talk, say, boy, this case, it look baffle we and torment we. Because it don't make no sense to we the ordinary people in mind. Our post in one grain, go trial for go commit treason, go overthrow government or kill president. How we go benefit? What's that in benefits? And this person, now person we don't get experience, now person we don't be minister, now person we don't the military, he reach to the rank of major before he retire. Why we go take this kind of step here? So it don't make no sense to we the lame people. But anyway, the case we go ahead. We see the pre-trial, the defense counsel, where the lawyer they represent the retired Major Palo Conteh, puts the court to the proceeding say, well, this case na no case. This man, the circumstances and the evidence so they don't produce now, this case not for go self na high court. We have to throw the case out because we never see any proper evidence to go back the allegation here. So then charges that they make against the client. But unfortunately, the case has been committed and sent and go high court, where the Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens, time they preside over him. And then finally jurors them and the case become up. Most of whom they follow the case, where the eloquence and the outstanding legal luminary, where now Dr. Palo Conteh, when a renowned legal experts, not only in Salomo, we don't see him. We don't go now the Caribbean and Belize, they go fix the legal system. This man get plenty expertise and experience and knowledge in terms of that legal field. He puts the points them of the defense, point by point, so silently, so brilliantly. Everybody say, wow, for this case here, I will never see any standing param. Although people may get the doubt, some people say, well, maybe the judiciary will be manipulated, maybe the judiciary will be influenced. And we see plenty opinion the way come. But I think say in the end, the kind of submission what we see from the defense counsel and the prosecutor will be led by the lawyer Adrian Fisher, their own case and put forward. I think say the jury then be take and say, but this will never see any substantial evidence for back the allegation there, so for back then charges there. So eventually the jury then gave for fine the man himself, retired Major Alfred Palo Conteh, not guilty. So many people can be shocked. So this become a wide topic in social media, where all man they talk about them. And up to now, people they talk about them. So people they say, well, this it don't show say this government they interfere, like the judicial system. Some people they talk say the jurors they stand firm, despite all kind intimidation or waiting and stand firm and pass the verdict when they're supposed to pass. Some people they talk say the evidence and the case handled by the defense team will be include people like Dr. Palo Conteh, JFK and others. Then present a very good case for the defense. And so there was no way where the jurors, anybody go able to pass any other verdict other than for acquit retired Major Palo Conteh. So now make we say, well, oh, bring this topic to now. Now make us say this is a free calling topic. You are a phoning topic. You come and share your own comments, your own opinion, your own ideas in relation to the verdict, to the case itself. Because we try to them say the treason trial that there never was. So the number again, like you know the number again. Now +44 79 513 77 568. The number again now +44 79 513 77 568. So una opinion them, una views them, una comments are all welcome at this platform. This is the topic of the moment. Now make us say that this platform inside salon today, we can discuss them as objectively as possible. And una go come up with our own views, with our own comments, and with our own ideas in relation to this particular treason trial. So as the car be they go, now so we don't talk about them. And the trial and the two charges in there where the retired Major Palo Conteh found guilty for. And again, lawyer from in defense counsel say by Monday, then go appeal, then charges in there, and also go appeal for, then go also go try for bail the client. We're under detention for a long time now. And the client said, elderly man, this must have been very challenging for him. and difficult for him and his family for them day under detention for that long time. But again, we were admonished the judiciary in our country, the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, and all the key stakeholders at the judiciary said, "Do you are then at the last pillar for all Sierra Leoneans, Salon people, all man they above them, because when you get trouble, when you get problem, when somebody sees advantage by you, when somebody takes something enough or take from you, when somebody you do all kind of bad thing, now the court them you above for me they go give you justice. When the case go to court, for me they go fight for you, because sometimes there's some people you hear who fight them on you. Now the court them get the rights, they get the legal power for fight for you in the country. Then another arm of governance. Now a democracy, we get 3 arms of governance. We get the judiciary, we get the court system. They will get the executive, we get the president, we get the legislature, we get the parliamentarians, when they make the law. So the court system, and they interpret the law. And they get the other arm, they help them, the police, they enforce the law. So they put the emphasis on the judiciary in the country. For me, they make sure so they uphold the offices them diligently and respectfully, because it's very important. As the bastion of the nation, now them the people, now them the nation depend upon. For when you get problem, for me they go interpret, me they give you right or me they give you wrong. Then for do them to the best of their ability and maintain the credibility of that key institutions in the country. So ladies and gentlemen, I know say most of you get your own opinion about this particular topic. Now IMEC will bring and come to the open. For them come with an opinion, let them come with their own suggestion, and let them comment na the Facebook page openly. Make una tell what you think in relation to this trial. So we don't conclude. Where plenty people na social media get plenty opinion about this particular case here. Plenty people supporters of the government, opponents of the government, and neutral people themselves get plenty opinion about this particular case. Again, people that want an opponent, they point to other cases then. We're pending. So wait till now they say the judiciary in the country independent. The government they interfere by the judiciary. What about the other pending cases then? Like for instance, people they give examples say, what about the MP them? When they be put in a parliament, the case then a court. And even the timeline for the case, I think if it don't even elapse, they not call the case. The judiciary not empanel judges, they offer sit down for call that case day. They say, what about them people in there? If this is independent judiciary, now judiciary will fear when they get no interference. Why make the case they not call them up to date? And that's now that legitimate question. Because what do them people there? People them vote for them legitimately for when they go represent them in parliament. So if they pull them, at least they forget them there in court. When they go argue, when they put the facts, may the judiciary make a decision. Either way, for say you are they pull them illegal or illegal. So people they say, if this judiciary, now independent judiciary, why they not do that? So this again, now other serious question. And I put them question here to una today, una the public, una the people. I want una come, una share una own opinion, una comments them and ideas them. And the number again now +44 79 513 77 568 +44 79 513 77 568. And we are all welcome again to the program Inside Salon today, now the Then and Now media platform where they broadcast live now Facebook page. So ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for our comments them, we will go back to the chat line for read our comments, when I get comments them, when no one come live. As they wait for them, let us continue for make the arguments to una. Like where I say, many people they say, if people that argue say this particular judiciary is independent, then the government they interfere upon them. Nobody they interfere. Then they do something free and fairly. Why then case they not calling. They even give the example. So the recall election will be take place sometime back. Now constituency 110. Where we see people them when they alleged saying that government supported them, go damage ballot material them, disrupt the election process. Now one polling center. And subsequently, we see the Chief Electoral Commissioner cancel that election day. Although the opposition and say it not be get right for doing. And then case I think say they in court. But up to now, they're not calling case and they say today. And as I talk so, the people in that constituency 110 no get nobody where they represent in the parliament. That's again a big issue. Because the people in that constituency 110 now them fundamental rights under the constitution of Sierra Leone for men to go get somebody where they represent them, somebody where they talk for them, somebody where they look after the interest in the parliament. So why then case they not call them up to date? So these are the questions here where people they ask. On the other hand, people where they argue, say this government they interfere, then they use this case where they acquit Palo Conteh. So as an example, they say because people don't talk all kinds of things, say Palo Conteh, the government want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do that, they want to do this. So if this government will be they interfere, then for me don't persuade the judges them or the jurors them or something, do something, we go make Palo Conteh and convict a man. But for sure say they don't do that, the jurors them and the judges them, everybody be free for go that court and make the case clearly, and the jurors them be free for come to the verdict where they pass. So this is the case where the people who they support the government, they make. And this is the other case again, where one of the viewers them get right for can comment and give an opinion about. Because this is an open topic for we all for discourse. It's very important for we discuss them. Like where they say the bastion for we country in democracy, na the judiciary. Now them we all abopa. Me and you in that country, all man, na pa them we abopa. If somebody sees advantage by you, somebody do something where you're not happy, now today you go to for men and go look into them. Men and see whether if like you wrong or not the person wrong. And they pass a verdict and then give you what you deserve forget. Or what you don't deserve forget, you get them. So people them they look up to them. So then credibility, the honesty, the transparency is very important. People don't forget trust on the judiciary in the country. Otherwise, plenty things not go right in the country. And again, people then go get their own take on this particular topic. So I welcome and I call on them people and they say, man, feel free for join we, for share and comments them, their own opinion about this particular topic. This topic not the trend all in days they are so. It is all over social media. All man they talk, all man they give your own opinion. So again, we welcome all their opinion in this particular platform because this platform now is a very objective platform where they look at things them objectively, fairly, honestly, and transparently for bring and come to the people in the salon and all about the world. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, and they continue again for giving the instances of cases them were pending, of cases of things that were not happening in the country, where up to now we not get a verdict yet. Recently, we be no say big riots or alleged prison break will take place na the maximum security Pademba prison. We know say an investigation they go on because people then die there subsequently. Plenty people then die. But up to now, we not get no fact yet about this investigation. And like people can always say, they say justice delay is justice denied. So all here, we need as a country, as a society, as a nation, Sierra Leone, for make sure say we get justice for all ends here. For make sure say the people them in authority, the people them in charge, deal with them here so as honestly as possible. Because what in do the country, we all would depend on the justice where the judiciary pass na the country. So again, I encourage everybody na the platform, na the different chat room them, for me them feel free, for join me, for comments, for share the opinion and the ideas for this particular topic. Make the people in authority, make them hear we, make them know what with the ordinary people, the grassroots people, they think, and what you think about this particular case, because it's not a landmark treason trial case now we country. Now, baby case where I believe say it don't set baby precedent, and it will go into the record books now we country. And again, now case we're not done yet. Because as they talk so, the accused person is still under detention. Because they find guilty for 2 other charges them. Where they say gets a custodial penalty involved for them. And like I be telling her, and defense counsel be say, this Monday when they come so, they will go appeal, then conviction and they. Because if he say, the way how the judge be interpret them to the jurors them and not be correct. And then get other thing them back where they go show say them for finding clients not guilty for their offenses and they as well. So they look forward for see that proceeding say as well again. But like where they say the only anomaly where other people in the courts is that the other people when they all in relation to them charges and they because they're responsible for the issue, firearms them, and for licensing firearms in the country, they don't find him not guilty. So how comes the person where they all, where before say get the same firearm from them authorities and they find them guilty. So this again, look correlates to many people eyes them when they discuss about this topic in social media and so many other different platforms them. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for people that are bold enough for come share their views, because it's not easy, because nowadays now we country, anything where you say, people they label you. If they don't say you na Y, they go say you na X. If they don't say you na X, they go say you na U. If they don't say you na U, they go say you na P. So people we understand are very skeptical for many going to a big platform like we own platform so and can't talk openly, waiting and think about issues then. But what the platform they do, will they give opportunity for people them, men and come express their opinion in a different angle. From all the different angles, like where I don't lay the case for people who believe say there is a lot for this judiciary for proof. Because if the judiciary honest enough, transparent, and credible enough, they ask say why certain cases them where opposition people them taking a parliament when a serious case them 30 days they not sit down for them. And then say it give plenty injustice to the people them were concerned by cases and they like where I say them MPs they don't put in a parliament now people them vote for them for men them go to parliament. If for any reason them pull in a parliament the legal process for taking cause. And for proof to the people that say, yes, this is not taking cost to the fullest. Why make them pull them people there? And people again for be convinced. But even for panel judge and for Sidon panel case, in the 30 days will not see that. And like I give you the example of Constitution 110, 30 days, nothing happened. The people that are Constitution 110, they don't get nobody where they get presented in a parliament. We also see that a by-election will take place in Tom Kolimba, where they are let's say they kill one small body. 30 days that case they will not get nothing but. So there are many plenty important cases them will not get nothing but. So now it's difficult for plenty people if can say or for believe say the judiciary in the country is honest, it's transparent and incredible and they face no influence from authorities above. And I will also explain to us, say, there shouldn't be any authorities above in the first place anyway, because the judiciary, now another arm of the government. Now a democratic state like we get 3 arms of government. And they all work separately, but they all work together again for governing in that country. And the judiciary in one arm of government one day. We also get the legislature, where the parliamentarians all they vote for, they go to parliament, where they make laws them for we in a parliament. We get the executive, where they the presidents and the ministers and they, where they run the day-to-day affairs of the country. But they work in conjunction to all them bodies there as well. So it's very important for many bodies that act honestly, impassionately, and independently for all we sustain the democracy in our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to put on to say many people will be hardly convinced. Say this judiciary in our country is independent, is honest, is transparent, and credible. Because what you do, the precedent say what the cases the more I don't highlight. These are cases more in the political wing. Because we also civil cases there. We don't see plenty allegations lately about land grabbing in the country. People in there, we don't see say they don't get no remedy. Pass them on social media. We don't see allegations them against ministers them. When they're in government right now. When in cases and they tell they will not able to hear nothing about them. We don't see cases them where people them they alleged they commit offense. Where say nothing not happen and people they scot free. So people they get doubts. Say how comes people will argue say this with judiciary will get like the country, it not get no interference, it honest, it credible, it transparent, and they go according to the rule of law in our country. When all entire they happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, this particular treason trial, it never continue. It never continue. You not do it. We get plenty angle where we all they watch them from. And hopefully, for Monday again, we will get another angle of this treason trial. And again, depending cases them, whether the judiciary. If the judiciary don't ready for fight for justice, now that country there, we want to make them begin set the example. We want to make them begin set an example where me and you, the ordinary people, the grassroots people, go and trust them. Say yes, we will get issue. Then people they are going to deliberate honestly for we. And give you the verdict what we all deserve. Because like what I say, them people are the bastion them, now the custodian them of the constitution of the country. Because they interpret the laws there. And it's very important for us to rely on them so that democracy will work in the country. Because we don't say even when political disputes there, now the court say the end. So all kind of disputes, now the court say the end. Now the court say the system will go pass verdicts. So there has to be confidence in the judiciary. And again, we urge them for men to continue. For men to begin work for the people of interest. For men to do things them. We're going to make the people them get trust and confidence in the judiciary. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I want to stop here for now, as today, we don't cover plenty topic there. We know the first segment, what we get for doing English, no, we get the border from Tanzania, from Uganda. When I am mental health advocates, we can advise we about mental health in Africa, the taboo them, the stereotype. It's not for the treat brother and sister them, when they suffer from mental illness in our country, how they treat them so. It's an illness, therefore be diagnosed properly and be treated. And they can able to contribute a lot more in our society. So be telling that take it plenty, because it don't become plenty awareness to we about mental illness. And the second segment, where that the treason trial of Palo Conteh, what we entitled the treason trial that never was. We don't can discuss so, where I believe say plenty people go get and take, and the saga continues because Monday, according to the Defense Council, then they're going to appeal court again for go appeal the conviction when the clients get. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I want to stop now for today. I want to tell you all thank you. I want to remind you and say this particular program inside Salon today, now a regular program where they come every Saturday. Every Saturday, that the Daily Now Media platform where they broadcast live now on Facebook page. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make a point of duty. Follow on the January every Saturday, 8 p.m. British time, 7 p.m. Salon time. Now this platform here, we will bring out on inside Salon today. Sometimes they will bring out on a guest name where they can analyze the topic then. Sometimes they like a free phone-in program where they talk about issues them where they affect we all in Sierra Leone. So I want to all thank you plenty for our contribution them, for our January, and please, we continue for share them page there so people are going to watch this program subsequently after today, now Facebook page and also now YouTube page. Thank you very much, and may God bless we all, and may God bless a wonderful country where Namama Sierra Leone.